Here are things to keep in mind on a first date, what to say and what not to say. This goes for both sides, men or women, more toward women, because I understand everything you're going through 100%. I'm married to the utmost upstanding gentleman I've ever known. He still proves this every day. He definitely ups the ante every single day, and that's what you want in a person. I married him 2 months after meeting. Great guy. So here's what I learned from kissing a lot of frogs before finding my prince. It was not pretty. I'll be the first to admit that. Obviously, like, everybody goes through bad dates, and bad relationships, hard love. So number one, remember you're just getting to know each other. No need to ask hard-hitting questions just yet. No such thing as a bad date unless it truly is. So don't put weight on this first impression just yet. People project their inside thoughts and insecurities on you. So handle the hard-hitting questions with silk gloves, walk on eggshells. If you're rushing things, you're not in the right mindset, first and foremost. You're probably looking for someone to fill a void, and you're not actually getting to know the person. So if you're rushing things and you're like, I want to be in love, I want to have kids. Yeah, you can say, I want to have kids one day. Oh, she wants to have kids with me. That's what they hear. Remember, they're cavemen. They're monkeys. Like, we all are to some extent. Don't put a bunch of expectations and standards on someone on the first date. Get to know them. Make it easy, make it light. You're just getting to know each other. Good? Got it. Number two, don't talk about yourself. Ask about the other person. Something that I heard, the number one subject people like to talk about is themselves, so that person. So don't talk about yourself, and if they don't ask about you, then you realize, oh, now I know who I'm seeing. Because I've been on a date where, like, I looked at the time, I couldn't get a word in, and this guy was just talking about himself the whole time. Asked me one question, and I gave him like a little bit of bait, and I said, oh, I like this and this, and I wanted him to expand and keep asking me. But guys are cavemen. So if you let them talk, they will keep talking. If you have like beautiful, open, receptive body language where your face relaxes and you tilt your head, when you tilt your head, it gets people to talk more, and this guy will go on and on, then he's not the one. So skip this. Obviously, you know, or you just tell him, be like, hey, you talk too much. Just be real. You don't have to say that. That's kind of rude, but I've been on a date like this where a guy wouldn't stop talking, just like about himself. And I was like ready to go to the bathroom and just ditch him. But I'm not that kind of person, so I told him straight up. I was like, this is what's gonna happen. And I told, that's me. I like have no problem with confrontation. Or I'll just be polite about it. Now, as an older, softer person, I'm 27 and I'm married. Can we change the subject? This has been going on and like this is bothering me. That's it. So just be polite, just be real, authentic. Number three is, this is not a therapy session, so don't talk about your problems. They are not a bartender. Don't talk about your problems. Don't bring your problems to a date. So you can talk about what you're currently going through. To get to this place today was stressful because I'm trying to do this job, this like big project that I'm working on. You can talk about that, but you don't be like, oh, here's my childhood issues, my trauma from my parents, and here's I blame my parents for all my problems, and I cannot take accountability and responsibility for who I am as an adult, even though I've lived away from my parents longer than I have had a childhood. So be your own developed person by not talking about your problems. Have some constraint when it comes to anything negative, really, because you do not want to leave negative space or talk about anything negative in your date. You do not want to give them any excuse to hold against you. Number four, talk about who you are today if you're asked. Don't talk about your past self unless they ask specifically about that, but you can touch on what your goal is if you're currently in the middle of some process. So if you're like a business owner, that's what I can really do. If you're a 9-to-5er, if you're trying to get a promotion, talk about your goals. Talking about goals is so sexy, so attractive. I'm currently in this stage. My ultimate goal is to get here. That's really sexy. Talk about who you are today. Don't talk about your past, because then people will pin that on you and categorize you with that. But you can like lightly touch on it and just be like, oh, I used to be a musician, but today I'm a business owner, and I learned a lot from being a musician, and this is what I apply today, but my goal is to get here. I'm so passionate about getting here. You're also living in the moment, and you're being mindful, and you're here now with them. And this is where we are. So number five is don't bombard people with questions. This is not a job interview. Go with the flow and go deep. That's actually how you establish and build a connection with someone. You find something you guys like together or can talk about, and you go deep. Forget your list of questions or things you wanted to say, and listen to what they're actually saying and elaborate on that, expand on that. And that shows that you're like in the moment and you really appreciate what they're saying, and you can understand them, and you level with them, and you appreciate their thought process is this. And you say, oh my gosh, I acknowledge that. because this and this happened to me. And I can totally see how you felt that way because you handle it like a boss. Number 6, be a real person. If you want to see them again, say it. Say it. I would like to see you again. Say all the things you're feeling, but don't be like, I'm in love with you. You're not in love with the person. You just met them once. You're obviously not in love with the person. You're obviously not in love with the person. Let me just iterate that. Don't put pressure on them. Just say it and then wait. Have a pause. If they open up, that's great. If they don't, or you have a sense of ambiguity, like you're like not sure how they feel, they're not the one. At least right now they're not. I'm not trying to give you hope. Write them off if they don't have requited feelings or they're not feeling you, because they might be on a different journey, a different stage of their journey right now, and you're like level 100 high caliber woman already and you're trying to get to level 101. Some people are level 60 of figuring things out in their life. That's okay. That's okay. And some people are in level 2. You might be in level 2, but you're like ready to reach level 100 real quick. Other people aren't. So it's like a race where if you're already here, you say, I want to see you again. I want to do this with you. I want to plan a future. Then they're like, they're not there yet. So that means they have a lot of catching up to do. So you don't want to do that to someone. Just remember, you are on a first date and you're just getting to know someone. Sign up now to my Glow Up program linked below. There's 2 ways you can work with me. So I have one-on-one coaching where I guide you for 30 days. And then I have a Glow Up course you can access anytime you want with lifetime access at your own pace at a discounted rate only for a very short time, because it's in beta stages and will get better from here with the help of your feedback. But if you do the one-on-one coaching, you'll see much faster, glowier results and gain more personally, I feel, because you're working one-on-one with me and I can tell you right there and then all of the things to help you glow up. Subscribe for more glow up tips. Sign up to my weekly newsletter link below for more glow up tips straight to your inbox with a ton of other stuff that is not on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you later. Have a good first date.